Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. If you're just tuning in, we were talking about different things like emotions in the markets, how to have a repetitive step-by-step strategy with anything in life, which is also the same thing you want to do in your trading and investing. If you missed tickets to these concepts, congratulations to those people that did get in, but make sure to text in right now for 2 seats. Text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for this class. Text investing to the number 210 right now. Make sure to follow the podcast, Investing and Trading Live on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Also, we do this show live each and every week on YouTube. Make sure to check that out to make smart investing decisions and see what these concepts are with the financial markets. So, Al, as we ended that last segment, I want to get into the emotions of trading and investing. I want to talk a little bit about something that most people don't really think about on how to remove the emotions, and that is actually taking that making money component out of your decision. Because if you're constantly thinking about making money in the markets, and that's a word we shouldn't be saying, right? So yeah, if you're taking that concept out of your trading and investing, then you're able to stick to your rules, stick to your strategy, and follow those steps. Once you do that, as I mentioned in that last segment, the more times you do that over and over and over, it becomes a repetitive strategy. That way, it's just something that's in your everyday thing. It's almost second nature after a while. So how do you help people here at the Academy that are coming to these classes and they want to be able to remove that greed and that fear in the markets and making those smart investing decisions with that step-by-step strategy?
Yeah, as human beings, we all have these emotions that are really hard to control. And the only way you can really have the opportunity to control those emotions when it comes to trading and investing is to kind of take as much as possible your thinking, your brain and your gut out of the equation.
But don't
Excuse me, and
don't you think with your brain? But you don't think
well,
with your gut,
that is the problem. People they overthink with their brain,
Yeah.
and that's part of the problem. This is not as complicated as people make it. Human beings have a tendency to make things more complicated than they need to be, and if you concentrate on what the most important thing is in trading is to get out of it, but you have to be able to accurately identify those 2 points. You do that by not thinking, but by following a set of rules that have been developed to get you to that point. If you can follow those rules, that's part of let's call it the process. And as Josh mentioned, don't concentrate on making money. If you concentrate on making money, then your emotions are going to be even multiplied, and you're going to stress out. You won't do well. If you just concentrate on the process, the making money part takes care of itself. Even some of the greatest traders of all time, Jesse Livermore, lived back in the 20s and 30s. He made $100 million during the market crash in 1929, and he said that. He said, if you just have the patience, be patient, follow the process, and the making money part of it comes easy. He also said that he makes his money by basically making decisions off of the emotions of the public. So you need to control those emotions, concentrate on the process. That's really part of our education too, is showing you how to, and it takes a little bit of time to be able to control those emotions, but it's following the plan. Once you have a plan set and you realize that it works, and it works on a consistent basis, depending on how much money you're making, concentrate on the process and the consistency that it provides, then this becomes very scalable. You used golf as an analogy a while ago, and golf is a great analogy. You can use golf as an analogy for trading and investing because having a coach is huge, but also it's the equipment. You don't play a round of golf with a putter, or a driver. You use different clubs for different parts of the game in different situations. And the same thing is true in trading and investing. There are different strategies that you use in different conditions, but there's always something that you can take advantage of regardless of what's happening in the markets.
Yep, I like that. You kind of alluded to that in that last segment, as well as using different strategies for different conditions, which means adapting to the market conditions.
Exactly.
And that's what I want to get into here shortly, is how to adapt to the market conditions for retirement accounts. But We have people that are coming to these classes that are brand new to these markets and don't know a stock from a rock. Some people, as you mentioned earlier, have been trading sometimes 10, 20 years, and they're like, wow, I didn't know how that actually worked. So if you're one of those people that wants more consistency, this class is for you as well. So you can text right now for 2 seats for this class. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. When you do that, you're also going to receive a financial quick start kit, which will have some free stock picks in it. Text investing to the number 210-210 for a free investing class to learn more about the strategies we're talking about here today. So Al, as you were just alluding to adapting to market conditions, I want you to talk a little bit about the market conditions right now. Over the last year, we've had a down market. People have really
Right.
been struggling in the markets. And I was actually having a conversation with a good friend at the gym the other day, and he was talking about, well, what should I go buy right now? And I
Mhm.
said, well, is now the right time to be buying? That's what you were alluding to in the first and the second segment, is buying at the right time. And we were talking about this, I think it was last week, about um, I believe it was a company that somebody loves a company, but they think it's the best thing since sliced bread, but
Mhm.
is now the right time to buy it. So how do you help people build that wealth strategy with these current market conditions? Because markets, I mean, over the last year and a half or a year now, they've been down.
Right.
We've seen a little retracement here, but is that a buying opportunity, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, well, I think every look at themselves. Everybody's is unique. They're a little different, and that should be included in the plan that you put together. But you need to know what your goals are. That's the number one thing that I think that we ask our students. What is it you want to get out of the market? What do you want your future to look like? What do you want your financial future to be in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or whatever it is? You have to be able to identify what your goal is, how you want to live in the future, for us to be able, for anybody to be able to help you get to where from where you are now to that point.
Hmm.
And for different people, it's going to mean different things. You mentioned this last year. Last year was a bad year for the majority of the public.
Hmm.
And one of the reasons, and especially in retirement accounts, and one of the reasons is that most of those accounts that people are in are actively managed stock funds. And over the 12-month period, over the last 12-month period, um, only seven had gains out of over 1,400 of those funds.
Wow.
That's at 1/2 of 1%. And most retirement funds have those assets in them.
Yeah. So
So
the market just didn't evaporate. The money didn't evaporate. So you said most people had a rough year. Where did
right.
that money go, and who is actually making money
Well,
then?
there's two sides to every trade. There's somebody who is buying, there's somebody who's selling, and what we know is that 80 to 90% of trading activity is controlled by the big institutions, people with big money. So there's a good chance that you could be on the opposite side of those people, which you don't want to be. You need to be able to do what they're doing, the same kinds of skills and strategies and things that they're using to be able to act and execute like the pros. And I mean that just makes sense. You're either ex- executing trading like a pro, or you're executing trading like an amateur, and you know who's going to win that battle.
Hmm.
One of the reasons people lost so much money last year is because it was a down year, and people don't know how to benefit in a down year. Number one, they weren't protected. If you have a 401k or 403b or any kind of a portfolio and you lost 20 to 30% last year, I think it's pretty safe to say that your financial advisor or you didn't protect what you had. So there are ways to benefit in different directions, and you have to be able to do that to be able to be consistent in your in the gains you get from the market.
Yeah, and that concept is called shorting, and most people have heard of the term, but just don't really know what it is. So, but
Mhm.
it also people know about it; they have that knowledge, but don't know how to do that. And that's what we really discuss in these investing classes that we do here locally, because the markets over the past year have been rough, and people want to know, how do I build a strategy to profit as markets go down? And that's what we do at Online Trading Academy. We introduce you to these concepts, these different techniques. That way you can have more than just a one directional strategy. Now the markets have three directions.
Right.
They always have. They have up, down, and sideways. How do you take those markets, adapt to that, and do what the market is telling you? Either be long when the market's going up, or being short when the market's going down. We'll introduce you to these concepts. Some of these terms might be new, Okay, but that's great. That's the great thing about this.
Right.
Hopefully, we're dropping some knowledge on everybody. Then they can start to build the skills as they come into these investing classes and moving forward with that. So I want to invite you to one of these classes. They're free, by the way, and they're 2 hours, just 2 hours of your time to learn about the markets and how they work, how they function. If you want more consistency, or if you're brand new and just don't know where to start or how to start, that's what this class is for. You can text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats for this class. Text investing to the number 210-210 right now for 2 seats. When you text in, you're going to receive a text back with some days to pick the date that works the best for you. We'll make sure we get you a call and find the best time for you. So, Al, coming up next here, we talk a football conversation here today. Arguably the best quarterback in the NFL history retired on Wednesday.